Chapter 11. Extraterrestrials. As a child, I had many experiences of waking up and finding myself in places other than my bed. My parents thought I was simply a sleepwalker, but I guess a simple explanation is easier to accept than the alternative. As a child, I knew something was happening, but was unaware what was really going on. Now I understand. I always wanted to believe, but fear had always won out over knowing. Fear is like that. It will keep you from living. It will keep you dormant. Fear will block you. Even as an adult, I suspected that they were there. Even as an adult, I suspected they were there, but that was as far as I took it. After all, I had no physical evidence as proof. I have seen the complexity of the universe and understand that if Source is infinite, then humans are definitely not the only ones in this massive universe. You guessed it, I'm talking about extraterrestrial beings. I always had a fascination with the idea that they were real. Most people would not mention them, or they would laugh if you brought up the topic, so I guess I never really focused on them. At least, not until I began to awaken. I ran into material on the internet about an older woman who did regression therapy on abductees, and she found that their experiences were positive, not negative, like most say. Thing is, they only remember bits and pieces, so the mind always seems to go in fear mode when it only has partial information. Once regressed, they find out what really happened. Instead of what they suspected happened. So I figured, if out of 2,000 plus regression and all were positive, then what was there to fear? When I laid down that evening, I asked them to come and told them I was ready for the experience. No sooner had I made that statement, I felt the energy around me change, and actually heard the ship arrive. I kept my eyes closed. Guess I wasn't really ready to see them yet, but I could hear them moving about in my room. I felt myself being taken. It was like my cellular structure was altered by frequency in order to pass through the wall. I was not afraid. I was excited. The next morning I found myself safely in the bed. Generally they erase all memories pertaining to their visits. They prefer to work behind the scenes. They do not wish to interfere with free will or your daily life. As you get more comfortable with their visits, they will allow you to remember more. Most humans are not ready to know. They go immediately into fear mode. Can you imagine how the religious community would react? It would completely tear down their beliefs and what they have been taught. And of course, if one belief is wrong, then they would begin to question the validity of all their beliefs. It would unravel their imagined world literally. We were taught that we were created in God's image, and they believe that it's talking about our human form. They believe God to have a human form. Wouldn't they be surprised to see that there are infinite types of beings throughout the different universes and dimensions? You would think that people would expect infinite beings from a God that is infinite itself. How naive to think we are the only ones. They do exist, and in all varieties. I've experienced inner earth, interdimensional, greys, mantis, cat people, Arcturians, Pleiadians, and many, many others. I'm honored to meet with these beautiful souls. I see them now as friends. They are souls on a journey the same as you and I. We may look different and come from different places, but we all came from the same source. They are us. I've had many experiences and continue to have those experiences weekly, sometimes daily. I had one experience where I found myself in a beam of light being carried by two little grays up into their ship. I was awake and I was aware it was actually happening. The little grays are actually cloned or artificial intelligence. They carry out the work for the taller grays, which normally stay on the larger ships. The Earth's gravity has a negative effect on the taller grays, so they created the little grays to be their helpers. I have a contract with the grays, and I have had for thousands of years. It's funny, I'll be laying in my bed, and all of a sudden there's this intense white beam of light, like a huge 3-inch wide laser white light, trailing all about my room as if it is searching for something. I finally figured it out. They always check first to ensure I'm by myself, as well as the location of my family members before they pick me up. I've named the two little grays Ben and Jerry. LOL. I've been picked up, car and all. Most likely many times, but once that I clearly remember. I was on my way to work one evening. I work nights, and I remember seeing an intense beam of white light following me. I knew who it was. I got really excited when my car began to rise up into the air. I was thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be good. I remember seeing the ship while looking up through my windshield. That was all I could remember until they set me back down. For some reason, they always set you down either 2 minutes before or 2 minutes after they picked you up. There's no time outside of Earth. You can be with them for hours or days, and they can still return you at almost the same time you left. And that is what I'm getting at. When they returned me, I found myself back in the car about a half mile before the point they picked me up. It was strange. It was as if time stood still. There were other cars on the highway, but they were stopped, as if frozen in time. I went around those cars slowly, looking into their windows. The people were not moving at all. They just sit there behind the wheel, looking forward as if they were statues. I then noticed other people at a gas station. They were not moving either, just frozen position. It was creepy, yet cool at the same time. Then, all at once, everyone began moving again, cars and all, just like nothing ever happened. I refer to the incident now as no time. They allowed me to experience that. I figured I asked them for that experience prior to being set back down. It was an amazing experience. Many are here right now to aid us in the ascension process. They are here to help us.